Zoro is so goddamn cool, man. This is going to be such a surface level review because I just want to talk about how awesome Zoro is. He's got to be the coolest character in One Piece, like easily, man. This dude is just so sick. I want to be like Zoro when I grow up. So, do you know what I mean? In this fight, he had the worst matchup possible versus Mr. One, somebody that's made out of steel that he literally could not cut. And somehow he still managed to come out on top well. The way he came out on top actually was very interesting. He sort of evolved as a swordsman in this episode, like quite substantially, it feels like. Through the duration of most of this fight, Zoro wasn't actually able to do any sort of damage to Mr. One because, like we said, he can't cut steel, at least he couldn't. And any attack he did, no matter how strong it was, no matter what he did, he just could not do any sort of damage. And Mr. One was cutting him up, literally threw him through a building. The building collapsed on top of Zoro. He was cutting him up. He literally like drilled into his stomach using like these saws on his wrists that were made out of obviously his body. And he was destroying him. He was cutting them all up. It was bad. And there was a point where it really looked like Zoro was about to die. Like Mr. One delivered this finishing move, and this gigantic pillar was about to fall on Zoro and crush him completely. And there was this moment where Zoro sort of awakened something inside himself. He remembered something that his master told him when he was younger, and that was that some swordsmen can cut nothing. And what you need to be able to do is cut whatever needs to be cut in order to protect the ones you love. That's what it's all about. It's not being able to cut anything. It's about being able to cut what's necessary, sort of thing. And he did just that, and he sort of unlocked something in his brain about a rhythm that he could hear. He could hear a rhythm in the soil. He could hear a rhythm in the rocks. He could hear a rhythm in the trees. Everything has a rhythm, even to the point where he could sense the rhythm of his blade, which was hidden under a rock. It's like he's developed this sort of weird sixth sense to do with objects and the rhythm of them. And it got to a point where he could actually cut Mr. One, and he did. He managed to deliver this final blow with one sword to Mr. One and cut him. He was able to cut steel through this new technique, this new thing that he unlocked in his brain with the rhythm and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, he's just so badass. The amount of like damage he took in this and still continued fighting, the amount of blood, I don't know, Zoro's just the coolest, bro. Like I said, this is going to be a very surface level review, but it was very cool. This feels like one gigantic step for Zoro to become the world's greatest swordsman. You know, his ultimate goal is to become the strongest swordsman in the world, and this feels like a massive step towards that. Being able to cut steel, and after this, he should be able to cut anything, really. Well, we don't know that yet, but this is a big step towards that goal. And Mr. One said to him, "What are you going to cut next? Diamond?" And Zoro said, "That would be a waste, because obviously diamonds are expensive, and also the fact that Zoro is cutting what he needs to cut. Whatever's necessary, he needs to be able to cut it. Basically, it's not about just cutting steel or cutting diamond. It's about what's cutting something that he needs to protect his friends, basically. This is the second time we've seen Zoro so close to death. The first time, of course, was versus Mihawk, and now this time, but both times it feels like he's learned so much from it. And if he keeps going this way, every time he suffers these sort of, you know, near-death experiences, he's going to become an insanely amazing swordsman, because he just keeps progressing and he keeps learning new things about himself and swordsmanship and all that sort of stuff. And it's amazing to see. I cannot wait for the day that he rematches Mihawk, because I don't think he's ready yet, obviously, but one day that's going to be absolutely incredible. I can't wait for that. But this fight was so good. Like, probably, I keep saying it, probably my favorite fight of the arc so far. Maybe the series, maybe not the series, I don't know. But it was amazing. It was great. My favorite Zoro fight for sure. But I could be wrong. But I believe that's all of the numbered Baroque works taken out. I'm pretty sure. I think it's just Crocodile and Missile Sunday left. So let's see where that goes. But this has been great. It's been really exciting, and I can't wait to see what happens next.